Hi, my name is Lindy and welcome to my channel. My website is www.lindicowling.co.uk. My email is info@lindycowling.co.uk. And before I launch into the video today, I'm glad to be back up on here. I would have come up onto video before now, but unfortunately Windows 10 did a major update which wiped out all my laptop internet communication and everything, and I had to take it in for repairs. Apparently it's not just me, it's a phenomena all over, and the wonderful IT man that fixed it for me, thank you Luke if you're watching, did a great job and turned it around very, very quickly for me, but he said that he's inundated with people that have got the same thing. So Windows 10 updates, you suck. And it's costing people a lot of money to put their things into repair and get it sorted out. Try testing your software before you put it out. But actually, thank you Windows 10, because you've brought about what I wanted my video to be about today, and that's what's prompted it. So the title of this video today is Twin Flame Data Transfer, or Can Twin Flames Transfer Data? Oh, and here we have someone who again has come to get in on the action, or he just went past the camera. At least it's not knocking the camera over. Can twin flames transfer data, or data transference between twin flames? You know what I'm like. The reason I don't come on here and have a hard and fast title for the video hardly ever is because it's direct, I'm going to say direct channeling through the heart portal. So it's extremely rare that anything is planned, and when it is, you know, I say so, and I might read the odd notes, but it's hardly ever. So that's what brought it about, and apologies to any clients that got affected by me basically not being able to work with them the week just gone, or the last several days, because of all that going on. I'm now back online and back operational. I've just got one hand on my cat here, who's desperate to try and get on my lap or on my shoulder here. Right, so twin flame data transfer. Can they transfer the data of consciousness, the data, the cellular data, the energetic data between them? I was going to say the two of them, but we now know through our experience that you can have multiple representations of the soul. Can they transfer all this data between them? And the answer to that is yes. Can they transfer the data of consciousness, so the information? Now let me explain what I mean by this. I don't mean just basic telepathy. Basic telepathy, when I'm using the word basic intentionally, can be a phenomena that is in all kind of connections and not just twin flames, and in fact has become, let's say, commonplace as people are opening up and awakening. If you have met or come into communication with, or come into dream state communication with, or physical communication with a same aspect of soul, of you as a soul, in another human body or other human bodies, it is much easier and much more automatic for that data transference of consciousness to be passing between you. Let me explain what I mean by that. In basic speak, in basic talk, the experience, right, twin flame A, twin flame B, twin flame A's life experience, aspects of their life experience that they're using now, can automatically be picked up on, either echoes of it or directly picking up on, let's say telepathically, but not just telepathically. There is a knowing in the consciousness of the information in twin flame B that twin flame A retains. I know it sounds like something like science fiction. Sorry, I'm just fending my beautiful cat off here again. Sometimes I think I ought to put him up on camera and just sit behind him and let him do it. He always wants to be on here, don't you, boy? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So this is how it works. So the automatic information between one and the other is much more heightened if one has met, or if one has made eye contact, or if one has been around one another, but it is also heightened if they've been interacting in the energetic realms, let's say in dream state. It's heightened then. Now you're going to ask me, and I'm asking myself the same thing, what if aspects of the same soul in more than one human body haven't physically met, haven't physically made eye contact, haven't physically talked or communicated, may know of the other one but hasn't met them, or doesn't even know of them, so basically they haven't met them at all, have no awareness or conscious awareness of them? Can they still pick up on data from them? My answer to that is yes, but it is much more on a subliminal, let's say subconscious, unconscious state. Let's almost say untapped state in that reservoir of the hard drive in the background. And I'm talking about the hard drive within consciousness. It's heightened if you've had direct communication or met them or seen them, or it's on a level when there's a lot of interaction going on etherically, or in the astral realms, in dream state. So it is in the background, and you actually, if you had no idea of the concept of what a connection was or twin flames were, you might be walking around with these aspects of data and the knowing on certain things and not even realize where it's coming from. Let me talk basically again. So let's talk about an expression of same soul in A, an expression of the same soul in B, or what you would call twin flame A, twin flame B. Neither know of the logical existence or the physical existence or the practical existence of the other one. There's been no communication. They're not even aware of what same soul aspects are or twin flames are. Twin flame A may have particular skills or talents in one area of their life, or be working in a particular profession, and aspects of those traits of that, the knowing and the knowledge, or aspects even of the wisdom of twin flame A, aspects of that, traits of that, wisps of that essence, wisps of that consciousness, that data can automatically be picked up on by twin flame B. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because that can be a huge and massive advantage. If you have same aspects of soul in more than one human body or twin flames, we're talking about the same thing here. That information, that data in their consciousness can be very useful to one or the other or both of them. Having that reservoir available to tap into, and what seems to happen is it's available to all the same soul aspects. It's available to all the soul fractals. It's available across the board there, but what seems to happen is it's more noticeable in the, I'm going to try and use the right word here, let's say the stronger or the more consciously evolved aspect of same soul. This makes complete logical sense, of course, because the more one evolves and the more the one comes into their heart and the more that one becomes fully conscious or starts to become conscious, it makes, of course, complete sense that then you would have access to far more data and consciousness data within oneself, within one's soul group, within one's access to what one perceives as the higher self, the oversoul. All of that information one becomes more aware of. So it's like a paradox, really, or two ends of the same seesaw, really. As one becomes more conscious, more of the overall data for the soul in all its aspects, in all its realities, in all its timelines, in all its form, whether it be physical or non-physical, on planet or off planet, become available. And of course that makes complete sense that as one becomes more evolved, more of that is available to them. Aspects of, say, let's call it twin flame A, say they're evolved to a point that's, it might be comparable to some of the other aspects of same soul, whether they've met them or not, but in some senses they may be, let's say, one of the first in that soul group to be becoming fully conscious. Aspects of what they have become the embodiment of, what they have learned and the consciousness they are becoming, can automatically be downloaded to the other aspects of twin flames or other aspects of same soul, same thing, in other human bodies. But only if the other aspects are at a point in their evolution where they are realizing that they are receiving it. So it can be a bit like a divine amnesia. If other soul aspects are busy doing other things or have turned into a particular direction and decided not to become conscious, of course they're not going to tap in the same way as ones that are going in the same direction and have decided to go on that trajectory to become fully conscious. Now, something really interesting here. What if, oh, my cat's trying to get in on camera. What if there is an aspect of same soul, an aspect of a twin flame in another human vessel, as another human vessel, that's data becomes corrupted? And I've covered this kind of thing very loosely in videos like the dark side of twin flames, in videos like disruptor energies, how and when disruptor energies strike, soul viruses, the soulless among us. These are videos that skirted around this issue at the level I was able to explain them to then. What if an aspect of same soul or twin flame, what if that consciousness, or what if the soul has been damaged, or what if the information or consciousness has been corrupted? So just like a computer or a PC or a laptop, that's data has been corrupted, like a virus, a computer virus, or a disruptor energy, which work on similar levels or multiple levels, has got in. Can that corruption, distortion, disruption be automatically transferred to all the other aspects of soul or all the other twin flames in that same soul family? Okay, so there are very real possibilities of that in its initial phases, but how that particular virus or infection or corruption or distortion is avoided so that the data in the corruption and the corrupted one, sorry, I've got a cat's bum coming out of my ear, in the corrupted one doesn't get downloaded to all of the others. How that is stopped is by the automatic evolution of the other same soul aspects or the other twin flames going into a different level of consciousness themselves, so that their wave band or frequency is raising, so that it is not at the same wave band or frequency on which the corruption occurred. But it can also be disconnected, and there was a video I brought out along similar lines again that explained it at the level I could explain it at the time, which was called Can Connections Disconnect? And at that time it was very popular on social media and across media and YouTube and across anyone that talks along those lines to say absolutely you can't disconnect. And I was one of the first that said that's baloney, and actually you can. How do I know this? Because I did it. Because an aspect of me became infiltrated and corrupted. Not me here on camera, a male aspect of me, let's call it him, the original twin flame, became corrupted, and I was in great danger of being dragged down with it. It was having a huge effect. Couldn't recover, lots of things going on, and you can see that from the earlier videos and all the videos I brought out around those times, in those years. So I directly asked, after I tried multiple other things and they helped but they didn't ultimately work, is I directly asked the guys upstairs, or you could say God or source or higher self or my guide team, all kind of interconnected and one and the same. Can you pull the plug on this? Like pulling the plug on a laptop that if you keep it connected is going to infect all the laptops in that line. I said, can you pull it? And they pulled it. And when they pulled it, I started to then truly recover and to heal and to go through a process of grieving, to go through a process of then being able to go into my heart. So that is another option. If you think of it logically for a moment and not just metaphysically, it makes complete sense. It's like if my laptop had a virus and then I went and connected it to another person's laptop with that same virus. If it's a virus that could be transferred from one to the other, it's got into the data and then it's affecting the data. I've said this on camera before. Souls can be damaged, just like vehicles can be damaged, because it is a vehicle, just like your car or something can be damaged. Souls can be damaged. The actual essence of who you are, or the mist, I call it the mist, the essence, the consciousness, the purity, the true spirit of you cannot. But what you travel through and the reality that you embody and the vehicle that you are traveling in, or your soul through, your perceptual filter, your soul of the world, can be, it can take a big wallop or a dent. So this is where again it gets interesting. How if, say, for example, a disruptor energy or a soul virus, intentionally or not intentionally, affects or infects one same soul aspect, would that be a great coup? Would that be a great result for Team Dark, or for Team Disruptor, or for Team not having humanity's best interest at heart? If it managed to infiltrate Twin Flame A, would that be a great result for it? It's a great result if it can then take out even one aspect of same soul. But where the great result comes is it's a great coup if it can take A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, all same aspects, same soul aspects. Can you see the amount of energy that would be released by that and the amount of disruption? That's why, in a way, I could say to you, it's not allowed. let's say all the consciousness that responds to love and joy and on behalf of humanity will not allow that kind of data transfer, if it's corrupted, to continue right the way through, because the damage would be catastrophic. If you had a situation where a whole soul in its entirety in every human vessel that it was experiencing life through was taken out, that would be a tragedy beyond measure. And in fact, I have no knowledge of that being possible or happening. As I always say on this channel, it's an experiential channel. Just because I have no knowledge of that ever happening to anyone, I can't say hand on heart that it never has, but I don't resonate with that. I don't feel in the recorded history of humanity so far is there. I mean, I'm feeling into it, that's why I'm hesitating as I'm talking. Has there been a soul in its entirety, in all its forms, in all its timelines, in all its realities, the whole lot, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, taken out, and then that's it. I'm feeling into it now, and it doesn't resonate with me. So what I am getting very clearly is it's stopped. The infection is stopped from getting any further. So that's another way of looking at it. So can twin flame data be transferred? That's the data of consciousness. Can their consciousness transfer from one aspect of them to another, to the other twin flame, or to the other twin flames, or to the other soul aspects, same soul aspects? Yes, it can. In that fact, it's an automatic part of it, but to the extent it does it varies on you as a expression of the soul, where you're at in your reality and your consciousness and your awakening and your awareness. It varies according to if you've met them, if you've not met them, if you're interacting in dream state, if you're not interacting. It varies on whether the connection is still expressing as a whole in its purity, uncorrupted form, or if there has been a distortion or a disruption or a corruption to it. And in that case, basically, you have a sovereign right and a sovereign ability to be able to prevent that corruption spreading like wildfire, that soul virus in a way, through the rest of the expressions of the soul, the rest of the soul family, and the other expressions of you. Sorry, my cat is pacing here because I've got my laptop balanced on his climbing tree, and he wants to get on it, so he's got to wait a minute. So I'm just feeling into if there's anything else I need to cover there. Not really. It goes beyond telepathy. Telepathy is only one level of this, because telepathy can occur in any and all connections, and even people that don't have a connection. I mean, telepathy is becoming commonplace. This goes beyond this. This is a knowing of abilities, skills on a very cellular level, on a very organic level, but also on a metaphysical and spiritual level that you have not learned in this life, and you just know how to do them, or you haven't learned that language and you kind of know aspects of that language, or you haven't learned that particular thing, but you have it as wisdom. Now, it is true to say that as you go up in your consciousness and you go more into your heart, that you access your automatic wisdom anyway without trying. Some people would say accessing the oversoul, some people would say higher self, some people would say different things for that, but it's kind of all part and parcel of the same thing. As you become more conscious, you access that wisdom. It's automatic anyway. In fact, you become the embodiment of it, and it's part of who you are. But this is a slightly different take on it. It's the difference of when there are other aspects of you as different expressions of consciousness in different bodies walking around. another word for what I'm saying is multiple same soul aspects or multiple twin flames. So when that is happening, this transfer of information can take place. It seems to take place without really any effort on the part of one or the other. Now, I can give you an example of this. I was working with somebody yesterday that had already worked with another aspect of me in female form, and when I worked with this person, I was using the same expressions, the same words and the same information as the other aspect of me, and the person I was working with was laughing away because she said, actually they said that, actually it's actually what they said, that's exactly what they said. And what the other person or the other aspect of me said was not a commonplace way of saying it or expressing it. I mean, it could have been me talking, because in a way it was. So it's quite, well, I don't find it mind-blowing anymore. In the early years, I found that all of this quite mind-blowing, a shock to the system. But as time goes on, the more of these stretches to your boundaries of reality, the more that they get stretched and sort of changed and expanded, and the more that your consciousness expands and you realize anything and everything is possible, it doesn't really challenge belief systems anymore, because your belief systems have changed, or a lot of them have gone. You don't find it challenging or triggering anymore, certainly not in the same way. And what I do is I find it quite delightful, and that's on another note here along this lines of what I'm talking. I've talked before about the phenomena of repeated numbers or repeated synchronicity coming up at a point in your life or in your evolution when you're being aligned with a particular stream of consciousness and a particular flow of energy. So like lots of people see, you know, numbers over and over again, the same numbers, the same signs, is because you're aligning with a particular stream of consciousness or energy that is either boosting you in the right direction, or you're aligning with it, or you're calling it in, or it's beneficial for you at that time. Now, in the last 2 weeks, my numbers are 1122, and I actually wrote a fictional, well, I say fictional, when I look back now, a lot of that was channeled actually, book entitled Replay 1122. I wrote it in 2006. And those are my numbers, those are my particular numbers that I've been aligning with for many years. And sometimes they'll go quiet and there'll be nothing in the background. For the last 2 weeks, it's been crazy. And in fact, I had my 2 sons visit. And even they were laughing at it, and they were saying, oh, you know, this is crazy, because they were witness to it as well. Anywhere I go, anything I did was 11111, 22222, 2211, 1122, over. I'm not talking about now and again and just looking at it. I mean, I don't really, in a way, it just makes me laugh. I don't take much notice of it. Absolutely everywhere. I mean, shockingly everywhere. I mean, anywhere you turned, you know, I put some fuel in the car, it comes to 2211 or 2222. Go in the shop to buy something, oh, that's £22, 22 pence. You know, that's non-stop. Now, look at the clock, you know, it's 11:22 or 22:11. Over and over again, not once, not twice a day. I'm talking countless times a day, and so much so that, you know, we were all just in the end laughing, and it's still carrying on. I mean, it's already happened this morning. It's quite funny, and what it is you're aligning with a particular stream of consciousness or aspects of consciousness at that time. Excuse me. All consciousness aligns with particular codes, and particular the codes come in different forms. They come in geometric form, they come as the form of sound. I mean, these are all interconnected, they're not separate. It comes in a form of, it can be identified, I guess, by a form of numbering. They're all different aspects to it, but they're all interrelated. And you're connecting, excuse me, with that particular line of consciousness at that time. So that's been amazing as well. I could almost link that to what's happening to you as an interconnection with the bigger, let's say the bigger pool of consciousness, or the bigger web of consciousness. And also I could align it to other aspects of you or other twin flames elsewhere in the world or elsewhere in your reality, known to you logically or organically or not known to you, that may be at that time aligning with those particular codes or frequencies or data, and that's a way of automatically transferring it to you or you transferring it to them. Don't look at this in too linear fashion, because it's a transfer that takes place on your hard drive, if you like. So it may be all sitting there like the foundation in the background, but you may not be automatically, accessing at that point, accessing it, but it's there as that very deep knowing. Excuse me, I don't think I've got a glass of water down there. That's probably my notes to come off here now. Sorry, it's because I'm filming this in the morning, and in the morning I'm very coffee and spluttery in the morning, croaky. By lunchtime I won't be croaky at all, but in the morning I'm very croaky. So I don't usually film in the morning, but today I just felt the impetus to do so. So I hope you found that interesting. I hope you guys are well. And for June sessions, which I cannot believe we're nearly upon June, for June sessions, please drop me an email and we can set that up. As always, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me as that channel in all the ways that you do. Take care, look after yourselves, and no doubt I will be back. I'll be back on camera soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.